All right, guys, what is going on? So I just wanted to show you that quick little snippet right there because as you guys can see, it did snow here. It's December. It's fine. It is what it is. It snows. I don't really give a shit. But that brings us to the second point or the first point or whatever, the part that I wanted to make this video kind of about. So obviously, I washed both my vehicles yesterday. This one actually looks kind of decent, and it's been sitting here because I didn't drive it today. I drove the truck yesterday. Don't even know why, but whatever. I drove the truck yesterday. Now, I know I think it's like 36 subscribers on YouTube. It is what it is, but I also feel like I do owe everybody kind of an explanation. I mean, 36 people, if there's 36 people in person, like talking to me every single day, that, you know, they would be kind of curious on why I dropped off the face of the earth, over the last, I think it's like 2 years I pretty much dropped off the face of the earth. As you guys can see, I'm in a giant building. And that is a huge reason on why I dropped off the face of the earth. I made a video on this thing about 6 to 7 months ago, and that was right when my life kind of really took a weird change. So we're gonna get in this video shortly, but we're gonna go hop in the truck, grab some food because it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and go from there. All right, so while I'm letting that cook, obviously you guys can see, here I am in a new shop, like I said. Now, the reason we're in a new shop is because I run a company with my father, and it is called KB Autosports. You guys probably know a little bit about it. If you don't, we're an automotive aftermarket installer of parts. So obviously this vehicle has air suspension on it. It normally is running aftermarket wheels for the summer. It's got exhaust work done to it, some other light stuff done to it. We do have plans for this car in the future on this channel, but that runs into the other issues. Then we have a truck behind us that we have done work on. This one has a 4-inch BDS lift. He put 35-inch Nitto mud grapplers on it. He just came back recently for a Fox shock upgrade, which you can't really see down there. He said, I think in the spring or next summer, whatever, he's looking at getting 24x14s or 24x12s or whatever. So he'll be doing that. We do wheels, tires, aftermarket parts all the time. We have probably we have 3 lift kits sitting in here, anything from 2-inch to 5.5-inch on that pallet. All right, so now that I'm done eating my food and I don't feel as awkward because I don't have 1 million subscribers and people probably don't want to watch me eat and everything else, let's get into kind of the point of this video. So like I said, behind me is the 2015 Subaru WRX. I have done a little bit of work to this thing. A lot of it hasn't been on camera just because most of the time if I'm working, I end up working with my dad or somebody and it just kind of gets done and I don't record it. I always try to record it. That's kind of why I bought this car, was for the purpose of making content on YouTube. As we all know, it can be profitable. It is a long-term thing. You're not gonna make it profitable in possibly a year. You're not gonna make it profitable in a couple years. I think a lot of the bigger YouTubers have been on here for probably 5, 10, 15 years and are finally at the point where, amongst a bunch of other things, they can amass a bigger quality of video content, affording things, so on and so forth. So with that being said, this car is still relatively, I'm gonna say, stock. We have intake, exhaust, air suspension, we have a trunk setup, but other than that, it's pretty much stock. And we will be modifying it. That is my plan. My plan is not to get rid of this thing anytime soon, unless someone gives me a ridiculous price for it. But that probably won't happen because I have stacked quite the miles on this car since I bought it. The chassis now has a lot more miles than I would like to admit, but it's still not horrible for the year. It's probably right on average. But going on to, again, another point of why this video is being made is about 6 months ago, I think I posted 6 or 7 months ago, I posted my last video or whatever. That was somewhere right around when I had lost my job. Now, what that basically means is for the last 2 or 3 years, I don't know when the last video outside of that one was posted. There was one posted about the airline. I think I got that one. I think I posted that one fully, showed it getting fixed, everything like that. If I didn't, it's fixed, it's new, everything's good. It's actually not good. We still have to work on it. There are some issues with this car, which we'll cover in another video. But about 6 to 8 months ago, I lost my job, which obviously meant I had no stream of income coming in. And over the last, technically, I guess 3 years, we have been working on building the shop into something that is sustainable. And if anybody knows about running your own business, it is extremely difficult. So it is one of those challenging things. So with that being said, with us obviously having been in a new shop, for the last 2 months, I think we've been in a new shop. I think we're going on 2 months, like in the next week or so. We're in this new facility. So 3 years ago, after 2 months ago, before that, we were in the facility right behind that wall. It was a smaller facility, but it made us money for going on almost 3 years. We were able to sustain. Now we're in this new facility. We're growing. We have obviously more overhead, and we are busy in our slow times. Again, we're basically 2 people working on this place all the time. And then in the last 6 to 7 months, I have been over here full time, trying to kind of just figure out how to run a business. I don't really know how to run a business. Nobody ever does. Well, obviously, we all know the simpleness of money comes in, money goes out. But there's a whole bunch of other stuff that comes into that. Marketing, keeping it open, sales tactics, sales in general, keeping things in stock, working on inventory. I mean, just a whole bunch of different stuff comes into running a business. So anybody who says running a business is easy either has a crap ton of experience on it and has a team that they've hired and everything like that, or they're just lying out their butt and they don't actually know anything about business. They just think it's easy because they see a bunch of people who run businesses have nice cars, nice vehicles, nice houses, so on and so forth. But, you know, I could say the same thing. I have a 2015 WRX that looks really nice. I have an 18 F-150 sitting outside that looks really, really nice. I currently do not own a vehicle that has rust on it. I sold the last vehicle, I don't know, 6 months ago three or 4 months ago that had rust on it. That was my Audi A4 that you guys probably have seen a video on it. If not, I will be posting some of the videos up on this channel from anywhere from like 1 to 2 years ago, just because I'm going through all my videos on all my devices, whether it's my phone, all my GoPros, everything like that, and I'm posting all of that content so that you guys can kind of see it, and it kind of shows how like bad I've been with doing everything and making it all make sense and everything like that. So with that being said, with running the business and obviously not having a job, I have not had steady income coming in. So I was running into 2 problems for a majority of probably the last 3 years. It was the common things that everybody says. You either have time or money. And I pretty much had neither one of those. I was stacking up a lot of money to make a bunch of videos for you guys, and, you know, mod out my car. Because, again, making videos for you guys is one thing, but I also want to modify my cars. That's my passion to do, is modifying cars and teaching people on YouTube and everything like that. That kind of comes secondary, but I mean, we obviously all know that if you're willing to put yourself on camera and post it to YouTube religiously and post it to all the other social medias, you'll grow social media, you grow following, you'll probably make money off of it. You can make apparel and a bunch of other stuff and just do a really good time and probably have really good luck. But anyways, like I said, going into it, it was either I had time or I had money. And then, you know, in the previous videos, I've owned shitbox Chevys, as we call them up here in the north, but basically rusted out, higher mileage Chevy trucks that you could fix. Anything is probably fixable. I've learned that in life. But it either costed a lot of money or took a lot of time or kind of both. So obviously replacing the rockers on a Chevy 1500, both takes a lot of time, and it takes it takes probably $800 in time and materials, or material and a little bit of time, but mostly material because I'm doing it myself, so I really don't have to pay myself the time. If you bring it to a shop, it costs upwards of $3,000 to $5,000. We won't even touch rust, so don't come calling to us. As you can see behind us, we do all the aftermarket cool stuff. That's fun, and we've been really lucky to work on newer vehicles. But, you know, like I said, it was either time or money. So I was saving up. I had $4,000 to $6,000 saved up to start modifying my vehicle. I was kind of planning out how I was going to build it and everything. And then, you know, I would get some things put in here. I have a whole list of parts to put on the Subaru, but every time I'd go to do something, we'd get busy, and then the shop takes priority. So when I was running a full-time job and the shop with my father, it just doesn't work out that way. The shop takes priority over everything, because that is obviously the long-term goal, is to run a shop, make filming content out of both the shop, doing stuff related to cars, stuff like that. So it's been very, very difficult to balance all of them. But now that we have been on our own for 6 to 7 months with no job, working here, trying to grow this thing into a sustainable business and sustainable basically paycheck for me and my father and everybody else, because it's not just me that's part of this. So it's trying to divide everything equally to make everything fair and work together, whether my dad thinks it or not, because I'm here full time, so on and so forth. It doesn't matter. But let's get off the tripod now, and now let's go talk about the car and kind of where we sit on moving forward. All right, so now we're off the tripod. I'm just gonna walk around because that's what I do. I just walk around and I talk. I can't stand still for the life of me. It is what it is. But behind me, like I said, we have the Subaru. We've talked already about what it has done to it. We do have future plans. Over the last 3 years, those plans have had to change because if you don't already know, the COB and EPA decided to get into a fight and basically make it where this vehicle is very difficult to modify the way most people were doing it. So the current build on this vehicle is ETS Extreme 3-inch exhaust, nameless downpipe, J-pipe, whatever you want to call it on this model vehicle, with a high flow cat. I have TGV and EGR deletes. I also have a ETS box for the intake, and then I have an MA Performance actual intake going into the engine. And I believe I have a TurboSmart blow-off valve. It is what it is. It's just some parts. Half of these parts were already on the vehicle when I bought it. I just changed out a couple of them. I put the box on because the box was supposed to be a really good upgrade. And then up here, which you guys can't see too well. All right, I'll try and zoom in here. So up there, we have a bunch of different parts for a few different cars, but mainly the Subaru. So we have a Deschwerks pump right there. So that'll go in. Some of this is air intake stuff and a couple other things. I have a new intake, full ETS box intake to go on this vehicle. I also have a Perrin charge pipe, Garrett, I believe it's Garrett, intercooler, top mount intercooler to go on this thing. Yes, I should go with a front mount intercooler, but at the time I couldn't afford it. I could buy it now, but I do want to just run the parts I have, and I want to kind of build this in levels just like anybody else would. And then, like I said, I have the Deschwerks pump so that I can make a decent amount of power and switch to E85 or E60. I believe it's E60, E30, because otherwise I have to do a high pressure fuel pump, which in the future we may do. But like I said, I have to go into this vehicle and I have to tear apart the TGV and EGR because I have to put both of them back in the car. Then I have to get the car retuned, and then I can hopefully do everything I need to do. So TGV, EGR, swap both of those, and then this car should be ready to be tuned, and then I can make a decent more power. I mean, I'm not gonna make a crazy amount of power, hoping for like 300, something like that, but that's the reason why this car hasn't really been touched, because every time that I get the chance to work on this car, I don't have space to work on the car. I have a parking spot outside of my house, and in the winter, I'm obviously not gonna tear apart a car and work on it in there. Our garage that you guys seen us filming some of the videos in, that thing is a mess because we moved into both shops and just never looked back. And then obviously I really shouldn't tear apart a car in here because this is meant to make money, and if we put a car like mine or anything else down for a long period of time that's not making us any money, then it does screw us. We had another vehicle in the other shop that was the same way. Luckily it was kind of the extra space, but it did screw us. The way we have this one laid out is obviously hoist. Both of them need to make us money, and then we have to have entrance and exit for both hoists. So having this car put down in any spot is going to be very, very difficult. I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to do it. I might just rip it apart one day, set aside a couple days, do it, just get it done with, then retune it. Problem number whatever with tuning this car is that I also have to obviously have the money to tune the car. It costs like anywhere from $250 to $400 depending on who you need to tune it. That's on top of buying parts, doing everything like that, because I'm sure I probably need to buy some of the TGV or EGR parts because I'm sure I've lost them over the 2 or 3 moves I've done, and just the fact that it's been years since I've done it. But that is in and of itself a whole nother situation. Then on top of that, we do have a leaky strut up front. The driver's front just won't stay up over a long period of time. I think it takes 8 hours and it's aired out. So that is an issue I would like to fix. But again, It is a little bit difficult to do that because here, like this week, somewhat slow. I think last week, somewhat slow. We're getting into our slower season, so I might be able to sneak these jobs in and out. I'm not too sure. But then we'll just get busy. I mean, we'll just randomly have a bunch of people that either want tires or lift kits or whatever, which isn't a bad problem. It's just one of those things that it is making it difficult to film videos, figure out how to do things, and then obviously the money aspect. I really can't blow money on the car or anything like that until I get my finances under control. And right now my finances aren't going to be under control for a while because I'm going to plan on just running this business for the rest of my life. Running businesses for the rest of my life. I never plan on being an employee again to any other company. I'll always just probably own a business. I want to get into renting trailers. I want to get into a whole bunch of other stuff. So we'll do that down the road once I actually have funds to do that. But yes, all the vehicles I currently own do have either a problem or something I want to change on them. I currently have the loan payment on the truck. So that's also, you know, something I don't want to lose the truck. And I owe a decent amount on my truck. So I don't want to lose that. We did pay that thing off. So that thing is paid off. So that is currently where we sit, is I am trying to make videos for you guys. I would love to make videos for you guys, but it is very difficult. So the goal is to make it a little bit easier here shortly, and I'm just going to kind of just start filming stuff and just doing things. We have to replace control arm bushings on the F-150. We have to do a bunch of work on the Subaru out there, like I've already said, so on and so forth. So that is, again, I'm not just leaving you guys high and dry. I am trying to make content. It's just figuring out a way for all that content to work and, you know, just make everything in my life seamless and everything. It seems very difficult, so it is what it is. We will figure it out over the next year. I want to try and spend 2025 really focusing more on content creation, both for personal being and for business, because I do believe, and I think everybody can agree, content creation is the new wave of technology that you have to do. Yes, you have to stay updated on all the apps. Yes, you have to do a bunch of other stuff, but if you're not making content on social media and you're not doing good work as like a business, then you're gonna fail. You're just going to fail naturally. So it is what it is. Hope this wasn't too boring of a video for you guys. I do have some new stuff I'm trying to get out, so stay tuned. And I'm sorry that you guys just had to watch probably a 15-20 minute video of me rambling, but I think it was fair to send this video out, and hopefully I can make more videos here soon and continue to upload on this channel and grow this channel. So yeah, see you guys in the next video.